Hello, friends. Welcome to the Left Hook. As you know, I usually have a guest and I have a framing, but I was about to leave the home and actually do some chores. But because we live in the seventh circle of hell, uh, due to a fascist regime that is increasingly showing its authoritarian ambitions, I just did this emergency check-in with all of you. Um, because we just found out right now, I'm sure you've seen the clips of Senator Alex Padilla of California literally being assaulted and detained by ICE agents. Well, what was Senator Padilla's crime? For those who have not seen the video, um, he was just forcibly removed from a DHS press conference. He showed up, uh, you know, this is Senator Padilla. They should have known who he was, and he was asking Kristi Noem some questions. Well, he wanted to ask her some questions, and before he could, if you've seen the video, he was forcibly removed. And as they put his hands on him, he is like, I'm a senator. What? And they didn't care. And the reason why I don't think they cared is they saw a brown man and ICE went to work. They're like, oh, brown man. Who cares if he's a senator? And they took him out and threw him down. And apparently he's detained. I mean, this is, folks. Give me a second. I want to see if I can invite my co-host Danielle. I'm doing this, literally on the fly. Let me send her an invite. Hopefully she can join me, inshallah. If not, we'll continue talking. But I wanted to just have a conversation with all of you because this is not normal. This is not normal. And to see MAGA celebrating right now on Twitter, they're saying, no one's above the law. They're saying charge him with a crime, right? They're literally rewriting history in real time, accusing Senator Padilla, middle-aged man, son of immigrants, right? Who, by the way, has oversight of federal agencies with citizenship, asylum, refugee, and immigration enforcement responsibilities because folks, he is a ranking member of the Judiciary Subcommittee on Immigration, Citizenship, and Border Safety. So, yeah, he's literally within his realm, and not only just as a citizen, but as a senator, to just ask Kristi Noem some questions during her press conference. Now, they probably didn't like the fact that she was being interrupted, but who gives a shit? Why are you assaulting and unleashing your goons, your Stasi, against Senator Padilla? And the reason why they're doing it is they're showing you that they don't care. We'll go after senators. We'll go after 9-month pregnant women. That's what's happening in LA right now, where it was a citizen who was a woman who's 9 months pregnant. They arrested her. Union leaders, we don't care that we have you on camera and you're not doing anything. We're going to arrest you too. That's also what happened. Children, they're showing up to elementary schools to get kids lying to teachers, right? They picked up Mahmoud Khalil, who hopefully, folks, yesterday a judge said his detention has been unsustainable and unreasonable, and hopefully they'll release him. But he's been detained. Why? For being a pro-Palestinian activist. Rameza Ostrich, 30-year-old grad student, picked off from the street. Why? Because she co-wrote an op-ed. All right. And so if you connect the dots, if they can go after Senator Padilla, they can go after anyone. And I just posted this that anyone who thinks they have wealth, anything who thinks they have privilege, anyone who thinks, oh, well, I golf with Chet, I golf with Oakley, I'm one of the good Browns, one of the good blacks, one of the good Muslims. I live in the suburbs. I live in the gated communities. I'm okay. I don't like those trans. I don't like those undocumented immigrants. I came here the legal way. I'm one of the good ones. They won't affect me. I give money to both sides. I pay my taxes. I pay a little bit more in taxes, right? I've never broken the law. I'll be okay. I give you this video of Senator Padilla literally being manhandled by ICE agents. He just entered and he started speaking very calmly, didn't yell, didn't shout, didn't scream, unarmed. And he just started talking to Kristi Noem. And literally, I'm looking at the video right now. They forcibly grabbed him and sent him out and then literally put him on the floor. I've also invited Francesca to see if she'll come, but they're all texting me right now. So I'm gonna give me a second as I'm doing this in real time. This is why you're a dad. This is you have to multitask. And being a father of three, news. Folks, thank you for joining. There's about 670 of us. Uh, it is not normal to have ICE agents unleashed across the country. It is not normal to have masked ICE agents with weapons randomly pick up people without warrants, without due process. It is not normal to unleash these agents at 7-Eleven and Home Depot. That's what's happening since June 7th. It is not normal for the National Guard to, leave behind actual responsibilities and then 4,000 of them without any accommodations or supplies, now helping these ICE agents in one of the most populous cities in America, LA, capture individuals who look brown. It is not normal for the Marines to be unleashed against American citizens and American residents. It is not normal for the President of the United States of America to spend $45 million to host a military parade for himself and his birthday. It is not normal for the President to use a speech at Fort Bragg as a essentially pro-MAGA speech where he mocks and ridicules his enemies and his critics and then curates specifically those individuals to make sure that they're people who vote for him and support him. That's what happened at Fort Bragg. They said only fit people, not fat people. So to body shame, because of course, and of course, Donald Trump, so healthy as a morbidly obese man who can't even walk a flight of stairs anymore without tripping. And then they said, if you're a critic of Donald Trump, you can join. And then in front of the military at Fort Bragg, hooting and hollering, mocking LA, mocking the free press, folks. And furthermore, speaking about the press, attacking and mocking Terry Moran, ABC News bent the knee, right? Fired Terry Moran. CBS it wants to settle, even though there's no reason for them to settle whatsoever, right? You see corporate news media doing a both sides analysis and normalizing what's happening in LA. And I'm just so curious, oh, friends who have joined us, how do you think they're going to normalize? How do you think they're going to normalize this, right? Senator Padilla, just go see the video. As I'm talking right now, go see the video, folks. Check it out. What did he do that was so wrong? You could tell him to leave. You could tell him to say, okay, well, Senator Padilla, this is my press conference. They saw a brown man, and I'm almost convinced they had no idea who that was. They didn't realize it's Senator Padilla from my home state of California, the most populous state in America. I think ICE agents saw brown man, get him, right? Like Pavlovian dogs. Brown man, get him. Oh, Danielle said she can join us. I'm going to invite her right now. Give me a second. And the way it's so humiliating. And then I want to ask you this question. Imagine if the shoe was on the other foot. Imagine, oh, I don't know, if this was done to a Republican senator. Imagine if this was done to someone during the Biden administration, and if they treated Josh Hawley this way, or if they would have treated, I don't know, Joni Ernst this way. What would have happened, folks? I want you to sit there and think about that. But this is now the new normal. And I'm here going live. I have no notes. I just saw this and felt compelled to talk about it. And since there's 700 people joining me, I feel you all feel compelled to talk about it. And I just invited Danielle again. So pardon for the back and forth. Danielle, I was holding court. I had no notes. I was just telling our community that I saw this video of Alex Padilla
Yeah,
being
I saw
manhandled,
it.
detained, and I was about to friggin' leave and actually go do something for the first time, relax for a little bit, go work out. But it's not normal, and I felt like I have to speak. And I just posted something, Danielle,
Yeah,
where I'm going to share with you what I posted.
yeah.
Uh, is Give me a second. ICE agents saw a brown man speak up at Kristi Noem's conference and went to work. Didn't matter that it was Senator Padilla. Anyone who thinks their wealth, power, and privilege will protect them, just see this video. I yield the floor to you.
I mean, so I just finished an interview with our friend and fellow nerd avenger Norm Ornstein that'll be up tomorrow with As the World Churns. And in the time that interview was going on, I got a text from one of my other co-hosts, Andy Levy, that was like, "Holy shit!" And I opened it up to see the video of Padilla being tackled on the ground and fucking handcuffed, and I am like, everyone needs to stop what they're doing. Everyone, just in the way that you were like, I'll go and I'll work out and have some self-care and maybe like sniff a flower. Everyone needs to stop what they are doing. We are in a fascist regime. It is not that we are headed into a fascist regime. It is not that we have backslide or that we're sliding. It is here. Donald Trump literally has more troops right now in LA than in Iraq and in Syria. I want folks to understand that. You've seen it all over social media in the last couple of days. We have more soldiers, armed forces in LA right now than we do in foreign nations, right? In some of those that we say are our quote unquote enemies. On top of which, you had Pete Hegseth, right, sitting in front of hearings this week where he was asked, "Oh, you don't have plans to like invade Greenland, do you?" And he goes, "Oh, no, 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 no. Don't you worry. We absolutely have plans to invade Greenland." So here's what I think. And
I'm listening to you. I'm just multitasking
yes,
and looking at all
multitask.
the.
But here's
But
the
I'm
thing.
listening to you. I hope you don't
Here,
mind that. If I'm not seeing you, it doesn't mean I'm not
no,
listening to you.
here is the thing that I want to ask. This is the feeling that I have. And folks, I'm telling you, I'm not saying that this is a feeling that I have. It is not proven. Donald Trump is holding this military parade on Saturday for his ego-filled, small-handed birthday. He has tanks, right, that are rolling in. The Army on call. We saw the performance that was put on at Fort Bragg. I believe that Donald Trump is using Washington, D.C. as his coordinating center of gravity. I believe that Donald Trump on Saturday is getting ready to deploy troops in every blue state around the country. I believe that Saturday is the beginning of the militarization. That Saturday last week in Los Angeles was the test case. That it was like, Jurassic Park, let me test the fences and see how this will go and how the media will respond and how the people will respond. And in a week's time, right, I'm going to deploy troops around the country and I'm going to instigate and say that we are in the midst of an insurrection, that ICE agents need the support of the National Guard. And he's doing it in blue states because these are sanctuary states and cities. This is the feeling that I have, Waj. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. Look, earlier today, and pardon me for the shameless promotion, but it's only because it's so relevant. I just put up a video with Timothy Ryback. Timothy Ryback is a scholar on Hitler and the rise of Nazi Germany. And he just came out with an article in The Atlantic. Oh, the timing of how Hitler used a crisis to create authoritarian rule. The piece just went up. It's a 30-minute conversation. Just listen to it, folks. And he said Hitler could only dream of the support that Trump had, because he was saying Hitler, when he first got into power, only had 33% of the support. Trump, according to the latest polls, has 38 to 42%. And he said the military, what people didn't realize is the military actually opposed Hitler for the longest time. There were sections within the military that kept telling him, no, no, no. There were guardrails, right? And he said he unleashed he unleashed the Gestapo and the stormtroopers, the ICE agents, against the people. But even in the beginning, he didn't unleash the military because he couldn't, right? So now we have here in 2025 America, the military is joining him, you know, applauding him. We got the National Guard. We got, I don't know, corporate media bending the knee. We have Democrats who are feckless. We have people doing it both sides. And I want to remind people, I'm sorry people don't like hearing this. Democrats went along with it. When he actually when he was going against pro-Palestinian students, you just saw my conversation with Noor Berlatsky just 10 minutes ago, they're okay with it. When they picked up Mohammed Khalil, very few people spoke out. When they picked up Rumeza Ostrich, very few people spoke out. Who helped pass the Lake and Riley Act? Democrats along with Republicans. I know people don't like hearing this, but they thought, we want to be tough on crime. We don't want to be seen as weak. Go after the undocumented. Who went after the transgender and mocked the woke? A lot of centrist Democrats. And what did you and I keep saying, Danielle?
First they came for, first they
Then
come,
they came
like
for.
I mean, folks, first you come for the undocumented because oh, they're here illegally. They need to come here the right way. Then you go for, right, the trans people. We don't understand you. And oh, let us uh, literally create the fissures and the tensions within the LGBTQ community and say, well, we don't understand these people. And oh, they're pedophiles. And oh, they're this. And wouldn't you want them away from your children as well? Then you go after the Muslims because, well, we haven't trusted them since 9/11. So then you go after all of the low-hanging fruit. You go after all of the low-hanging fruit. I mean, for the love of God, how many times on Democracy-ish have we been quoting Martin Niemöller? How many times have we gone through the First They Came For poem? And now here is Donald Trump on a few days before his small dick birthday party that he has troops on the ground
Yep.
in California, in Los Angeles. And I am telling you, this is what Waj has also said. Remember, America is a country with more guns than we have people. There are 400 million guns in this country and only 330 million Americans. Like,
I,
you do the fucking math and tell me whether or not you think that this is actually going to end in a way that is peaceful. It's going to begin peaceful, but I believe that the ICE agents
oh yeah.
and the National Guard and these folks are being told, and you're seeing cops break the windows of their own cars. You're seeing them instigate and provoke violence. And I believe that they are being given orders that they are following. And so you can only push people but so far. Donald
Yeah,
Trump, I'm telling you, in the next couple of days, I'm telling you, the American people right now, this motherfucker is getting ready to declare martial law, and you can't tell me otherwise.
I mean, look, I asked him about this. Reichstag fire. That's what Hitler did, right? Used an emergency, created a chaotic emergency to essentially disable and then dismantle the democratic institutions from within, and then become what? Supreme leader, right? So we see Stephen Miller now literally provoking and escalating. And it's not me saying it, it's Wall Street Journal, that leftist rag, right? Talking about how he wants to create a crisis, right? He's the one who unleashed the ICE agents to terrorize Home Depot. He's the one who's using the words invasion. There's no invasion. They're the ones using the word insurrection. There's no insurrection. Why are they doing that, folks? Because they want to implement the Insurrection Act. They want to unleash the military against all critics. They want to militarize American cities. And if you oppose them, you will be seen as the enemy. What Danielle and I have said, the end game was before the elections, I thought, before the midterms, he would simply say, look, I'm here to protect you. I'm the commander in chief, but the power vested in me and my interpretation of the Constitution, I have to protect Americans from enemies both outside and within. There's invasions, there's Antifa, there's immigrants, there's this, that's MS-13, whatever. I have to declare martial law. We have to suspend elections, but don't worry, the elections will come back and give the power to me. And if they can come after students, like, folks, this has bone normalized already. Mahmoud Khalil, what's his crime? No crime. Abrego Garcia, why the F is he friggin' floundering into prison? Because he's brown. Who brought him back? No one, they've brought him back, or they're
To
saying they're
face
bringing him
criminal
back.
charges.
Yeah, facing criminal charges, right? This has already happened, and we sat there and allowed it to happen, and it led to LA, and now, I don't know if you saw, look at the gaslighting. Senator Padilla chose disrespectful political theater and interrupted a live press conference without identifying himself for having a Senate security pin on as he lunged towards Secretary Noem. This is the DHS Homeland Security tweet. Mr. Padilla was told repeatedly to back away and did not comply with the repeated commands of the officers. Secret Service thought he was an attacker. An officer
Mm.
acted
Uh-huh.
appropriately. Secretary No met with Padilla after and held a 15-minute meeting. Abby Phillips says, as you can see in the video, Senator Padilla clearly identifies himself. DHL still wrote this post falsely claiming that he did not, and others have mentioned protesters, reporters, and assorted bozos crash and disrupt press conferences all the time. They never get handcuffed, all right? You have people always doing this, and as you can see the video, and speaking about authoritarians, don't believe the evidence of your own eyes. Don't believe the evidence of your ears. See it for yourself, folks. He comes in there, doesn't lunge. Senator Padilla announces who he is. This happens all the time. You tell people to step back. They lunge at him, shove him, arrest him, a sitting senator, right? So all these senators, and yes, Senator Padilla also parroted the pro-APAC talking points against the pro-Palestinian protesters. I'm sorry to tell y'all, all y'all Democrats who told us darkies and brownies to stay silent. You see, we kept warning you. We kept warning you. It happened with the pro-Palestinian activists, the transgender communities, the undocumented. Me and Danielle said, they'll come after you. And you saw it happen with Senator Padilla. Danielle,
But
real quick.
how many fucking times are they going to use the same narrative and the American people going to fall for it? How many times are you going to say, oh, well, they didn't comply. Well, they didn't put their hands up. Oh, well, I didn't know that Tamir Rice that I shot on the playground was a child. Oh, Mike Brown said, please don't shoot and had his hands up. Oh, but he was aggressive just by being black and tall. So now you're saying that a U.S. senator who clearly declared himself and said who the fuck he was, standing there in a suit, right? That you're wrestling to the ground. So now you're going to say, well, you have these white folks that are going to say, well, if he just followed the law, he is the law, motherfucker. That's why he ran for office. Like, it's just how much more respectable must black and brown people be in order to receive respect?
You know what, Danielle? Look, first of all, something glitched while I was inviting everyone. I can't see any comments. So forgive me, or else I'd respond to y'all. Are people watching us right now? Do you
Yes,
see?
there you have 1.3 thousand right now.
Oh, wonderful. Sorry, y'all. It glitched at me at 670, and it hasn't gone up or down, and I can't see any of the comments. So Danielle will bring the
I'm
our
managing all of I'm
uh,
managing
yeah,
the
I can.
comments.
I want to. Yeah, I usually try to involve you all, but I'm sorry, I just can't see. Sometimes it happens with these Substack apps. But I know people won't like this, Danielle, but we told you, and this is the world's worst. I told you, and you know what? When black and brown bodies are broken, no one cares. When it's
Nope.
the poor, no one cares. When it's undocumented, no one cares. When it's brown union leaders, no one cares. When it's brown kids, no one cares. When it's transgender kids, no one cares. When it's pregnant women, 9-month-old pregnant mom who's a citizen,
No one
no one
cares.
cares. When it's the brown kid who's a citizen who got deported as a cancer survivor, that happened, folks, in this administration, no one cared. When it's the brown kid who is dealing with stage 4 cancer, was sent to her death sentence and deported with her family, no one cares. When it's a senator, a Democratic senator, Senator Padilla from the most populous state, Danielle, when it's their own, when the 1%, the establishment, when those in power, I'm sorry, folks, these senators are powerful people. There's only 100 of them. When a senator gets manhandled, do you think it'll finally rouse the establishment to action? I give it to you.
Here's the thing. Milwaukee County judge, a white woman, Judge Dugan, was
Oh, yeah.
arrested, right? Were there any calls to action? Oh, no. She did the wrong thing, a judge, right? So Ross, Mayor Baraka, he's arrested, right? Mayor of Newark is arrested and roughed up. What did the establishment react to that? No. So you have you have a congressional leader who is charged right now by Bondi's Department of Justice. Has the establishment reacted? No. What is the establishment's reaction right now? Holding another round of elections because they don't like the young people that are in charge, that are offering up a different pathway to primaries, that have the American people actually get to decide representation that isn't about upholding the corporatized status quo. And now
Uh,
those people are being removed. And by those people, I mean David Hogg, right? And the name of
Kenyatta.
Kenyatta being removed from their vice presidential positions in the DNC. So do I think that the slotkin fucking DNC is going to be reacting with any type of, I don't know, passion, integrity, force? No, I think that they'll probably write a strongly worded letter and tell
Uh,
Padilla that he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
some good news is Elizabeth Warren, and I'm listening to you as I'm multitasking. Father of three kids. This is my life, folks. I'm Elizabeth Warren. I'm on my way to the Senate floor to talk about the assault on my colleague, Senator Padilla. This is where media will fail us because what the right wing will do, and it's already done, is they set the narrative and they set the frame. And what they're saying is no one is above the law, and they're lying and saying he didn't identify himself. Even if he didn't, folks, he did, by the way. Just wait for it. Uh, you don't get assaulted. Right, this happens all the time. Pastors do it. Right wing does it. They don't just straight up lunge at you, assault you, and handcuff you. Right? He is a senator. They know who he is. He identifies himself and he has no weapons. He's not lunging at anything, right? So just see the video for yourself. And guess what an MSNBC anchor just said, according to Marisa Cabas? An NBC anchor just definitively claimed Padilla didn't identify himself when a video clearly shows he did. The both sides already begins. And now they're going to play by the right wing's rules and say, did he identify himself? Was this
And that will be
appropriate?
the
Was this civil?
conversation is going to be, and this is why corporatized media is full of shit, because the conversation isn't going to be about the fascistic rise of Donald Trump and the unhinged, like, behavior of his Department of Homeland Security and his Pentagon and ICE agents and his unhinged Department of Justice. No, we're going to now part and parcel out whether or not somebody said, yes, hear me. I'm in attendance. I'm a U.S. Senator. Here is my pin. Here is my program. Here is my chief of staff. Like, that's not the fucking conversation. That's not the conversation. It's the fact that a sitting U.S. Senator, I'm looking at a photograph that Gavin Newsom posted with one, two, three, four fucking agents on top of him as he is sprawled out on the ground.
After identifying himself. And furthermore, what they're going to do, just watch. This is going to be the conversation tonight. Was it appropriate for Senator Padilla to approach Kristi Noem this way? Wasn't there a better forum? Couldn't he have waited until after the press conference, Danielle?
Like,
I guarantee you that's going to be the
let me
conversation.
tell you something. When we are dealing with fascists, civility does not exist. Understand that Donald Trump abandoned the rule of law, abandoned civility a long fucking time ago. We had this conversation yesterday. I had it with Jared with the check-in at noon. I had it with you, Wash, yesterday at 3 p.m. When you throw out the rule of law, when you lie, when you create and manufacture chaos, the resistance will not be orderly.
Yeah.
Okay? This is not going, like, I'm not going to waste time going back and forth with fucking cable news and these both siders about, oh, what is the right way? Oh, was there a right way to oppose Hitler? I mean, the New York Times put him in the home and garden section. Was there a right way to name that he was a fucking Nazi? There is no right fucking way except for outrage.
This is going to be the framing. Was Senator Padilla correct to interrupt Kristi Noem? Was there a better way? Let's discuss. Meanwhile, what no one's talking about, as you mentioned, is ICE agents are terrorizing our communities. There's National Guard members. We are being destroyed by the dumbest people on earth. And there was a joke, Danielle, I don't know if I remember the dark humor that I used to do on Democracy Ish with you before the election. And this was kind of a dark humor I've done with a whole bunch of friends is when you're Muslim, you got to talk like this sometimes because we also went through the first Trump administration, the Muslim ban, which people tried to gaslight us and say it wasn't a Muslim ban. So we used to do dark humor, gallows humor, and said when we're in the camps, I always imagine it would be like black folks, undocumented immigrants, Muslims, transgender folks, right? And then it would be the press, whom Donald Trump has called the enemy of the people, and then the brown shirts would come, right? And like give us like some scraps, and we'd be there, me and Danielle and a few others, like Steve McQueen, planning the Great Escape. And then there'd be some like Jake Tappers with us with microphones, and then they'd stick their hand out from the gates and say, "Hey, hey, hey, ICE agent, hey, brown shirt, can we have an exclusive, a scoop?" He's like, "Sure, you're gonna die tomorrow." He goes, "Can I be the first one to report on it?" He goes, "Go right ahead." So as we were planning the Great Escape, trying to like repel fascism, they still, as they're being marched to their death, will go for the scoop. They cannot change. They cannot evolve. They cannot adapt. They will fail. The corporate billionaires will fail. They all bent the knee. What did it get them? ABC News, what did it get you? They still hate you. CBS News, what did they get you? Still hate you. Tim Cook, or as he calls him, Tim Apple, what did it get you? With your bags of money that you doled out to Donald Trump, right? Thinking he won't come after you. Fascists come after everyone. And Democrats, who threw their base under the bus, who made fun of the woke, which is Danielle, me, immigrants, who decided to be strong and complicit and work with Republicans to pass the Lake and Riley Act, right? Who went along with 10 of them went along with Republicans to censure Al Green, their own Democratic colleague, for standing up to Donald Trump. Look at what it made. Look at what they make you give.
Mhm.
Was it worth it? Jake Tapper, as you're selling your soul right now, they still hate you. And now Senator Padilla, the same man who's this chummy with APAC and all that pro-Israel money that's used to, let's be honest, Danielle, terrorize our students. And this Democrats overwhelmingly did what? Went along with it, right? Both sides, as they were going after pro-Palestinian activists and students who have committed no crime, Mahmoud Khalil, Badr Khan Suri, all these others, right? They kept quiet. Let's be honest. We kept warning. Now it's at your doorstep, and now we got tanks rolling through DC. However, Danielle,
Mhm.
I ask you this. This is pretty egregious. We haven't seen anything like this, to the point where I was about to go out and like relax for 5 minutes and do some chores, and I'm like, F it, I gotta speak. Uh, this video is pretty clear, and it's
Yep.
a brown Senator Padilla, and California is being assaulted. And you're seeing folks like moms and union leaders and just average Jose's being picked up. And you saw the latest poll that came out yesterday where Donald Trump is underwater. He's at 38%. That's not a
Mhm.
good poll. Do you see the resistance rising up, which then also compels Donald Trump to crack down harder? Do you think this is the thing that says, whoa, 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 to a lot of people on the middle in the fence? I don't know.
So here's what I'll say. Um, the resistance is only going to get bigger and louder. I've been
Mm.
saying this since the beginning, that as soon as the seasons changed, that as soon as it began to get warm outside, that it was not going to take very long for people to realize how egregious this administration is and how it is harming their day-to-day lives, right? Whether it be from your 401k, your pension, the grocery store prices, the fact that you have a newborn baby and you don't know what kind of vaccines you can give them, because now RFK Jr. has fired all of the vaccine advisory board members, and now today replaced them all with with kooks from fucking QAnon, right? All so that insurance companies will not have to provide and pay for vaccines for yourself or your family. Like, this is only getting worse, and it's only been 5 months.
That's
The
right.
fact is that, like, I am telling you, and I've been saying this since 2017 when I launched Woke AF Daily. I said, things in this country are going to get bloodier before they get better. That is not my desire.
No,
That is a fact. There has been no country that has ever faced this type of fascism and rise in autocracy and it be peaceful. So miss me with the fucking like respectability politics, right? Miss me with the bullshit of the right way to react to fascism, the right way to react to white nationalism. Like, this is the moment. This weekend, what is happening this week, what is happening today, as I'm going through X and seeing all of these members of Congress, and now former Vice President Kamala Harris posted the video of Padilla, posted the picture of Padilla. Like, folks, this is like, we are here. We are in it. We are fucking neck deep right now. And Donald Trump is in a place where he's like, I'm going to push your head all the way down.
and
So,
someone just reminded me, Representative Maxine Waters, 84 years old, had guns pointed at her, the door slammed in her face just a couple of days ago. That was normalized. Normalizing violence and the military against our elected officials, against our citizens. This is what happens in fascism. Uh, Danielle and I have been trying our best to sound the alarm. It's the world's worst. I told you so. We get no joy. We get no joy in being here, but here we are. I'm flying blind, Danielle. I still can't see how many people are watching us. Or are we live? We're good.
1.5.
Oh, 1.5. That's wonderful. And thank you all for joining us. Danielle's busy, and I know all of you all are busy, but we have Democracy Ish tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to unpack this a bit more. I felt I had to jump on and discuss it because I cannot sit here and stay silent during the rise of a fascist regime. I cannot sit here and do nothing. And who am I? I'm nobody. We're all nobodies. There's 8 billion people, but we're all somebody to someone, and everyone has a role to play. Everyone has a voice, and we have the numbers. We are the majority, people. There is a No Kings rally this weekend. Participate, stay safe, get out in the streets, organize, inform people, protect your own community, your own streets, your own family, your own schools, run for office. We need 10 toes down, full scale, all out resistance from every lever imaginable. This is how you add cracks to a fascist regime. They're also, thankfully, thankfully for America, they are very incompetent and they do not have the numbers, folks. America is a big country with 340 million people. As Danielle and I always remind you, we don't like reminding you, but we have to remind you because people aren't connecting the dots. It's a country of 400 million guns, more guns than people. They're going to put their hands on the wrong person. They're going to film themselves shooting and killing an unarmed person, most likely a white person. And then, folks, it's fireworks.
Let me just say this before we're at 1.6 right now, Wash.
That's great. Thank you all for joining us.
So thank you guys for joining us. The fact is this: we have to recognize in this moment that we still have power. That Donald Trump is reacting in the way that he is because he is terrified. Because as Wash said with the Quinnipiac numbers, as he is seeing all of these 1,000, 2,000 No King protests are scheduled for Saturday around the country and also outside of the country, right? You react with this type of force and violence because you are terrified.
That's right.
He believes and he knows that outside of the bubble that has been created for him, the people are not with him. He is a failure. That big, beautiful pile of shit, Bill, is a fucking failure. That even his own sugar daddy came out and said, right? You are going to bankrupt this country. Everything that Donald Trump touches is failing.
And what Danielle is saying, folks, it was just so. Danielle, did you see the glorious video of the Kennedy Center yesterday?
Oh, yes. Les Miserables. Here is Donald Trump at the Kennedy Center, and he is getting booed mercilessly, right? So, folks, you have to understand that while he is making this show de force, it is a show. And similarly, I just want to say this too about what happened at Fort Bragg with the military. Military.com wrote an entire piece from internal communications that they received that who was put around Donald Trump are all people that were handpicked to be there, and including in the fact that they also said in their internal communications, no fatties.
Yep.
They wanted all men, mostly white men who held the same type of political views. No women and no people that didn't fit the television mold. Military.com put that out so that people understood that this, again, you cannot believe anything that comes through this administration. It is a lie.
Well, just look at the tweet. Look at the tweet that I read you. Look at how they're literally lying to your face. They're telling you not to believe the evidence of your eyes or the evidence of your ears. That was the most final essential command of Big Brother, as George Orwell warned in 1984. We've seen the video, folks. See it for yourselves. And regardless of what they say, why the F are ICE agents manhandling and assaulting Senator Padilla? Why the F are ICE agents terrorizing our community members? Why the F are brown people being kidnapped without due process? Why the F is our National Guard and our military helping ICE agents terrorize our communities? These are the questions that you should be asking, and force your local officials to answer these questions, your senators. And speaking about listen, me and Danielle, we try to be fair, folks. We criticize Republicans. We don't do this both sides analysis, but we need fighters. And I criticize Democrats because, damn it, I want to remind you all, and I'm so happy the Tennessee Holler had this 10 days ago. I'll remind you, 10 days ago, asked about the Democratic response to Representative Nadler's aide being handcuffed by DHS agents inside the congressional office. Remember that 10 days ago?
Yep.
Representative Jeffries said, "We will respond in a time, place, and manner of our choosing. It will be continuous and it will meet the moment," which even forced Dana Bash of CNN to ask, what does that mean? And so now is the moment, Democrats. Now is the moment. They've gone after Nadler's aide. They've gone after Maxine Waters. They've gone after Senator Padilla. It's on camera. You can't escape it. As they're going after brown and black bodies in LA. You can no longer be a coward. Representative Jeffries, you said we will respond in a time, place, and manner of our choosing. Meet the moment.
TikTok.
Meet the moment.
TikTok. The moment is here. The moment is here. The moment has arrived. It has arrived for every single American. The moment has arrived for because if they can do this to a U.S. senator, if they can do it to a judge, if they can do it to a congressperson, if they can do it to a mayor, right? What do you think that they will do to you? No one is safe, not inside of an autocracy. The only safety that we have is our collective liberation and our collective fight. That is it.
That's it. They're coming after all of us, folks. Fascists come after everyone. Danielle, before I exit this, how many people are watching? Any comments that we should respond to? I
We
can't.
have
Oh, sorry, folks.
1.6 thousand on. I will tell you, folks, if you have not subscribed to the Left Hook, Waj is a terrible self-promoter. Subscribe. If you can become a paid subscriber to the Left Hook, become a paid subscriber. Similarly, with my Substack, The Damn Digest, you can become a subscriber as well as become a paid subscriber. Support independent voices that are unapologetic truth tellers in this moment. Our show will be live Democracy-ish tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern on my YouTube channel. I am going live with the Danielle Moodie Show in 46 minutes. In 46 minutes, I will be live on my YouTube channel, picking up where we are leaving here. So support independent media, folks. Every dollar counts. Every like and share counts. Because we need to build a movement here. And that is why Waj and I do the work that we do. We are children of immigrants. We believe in this country. We believe in a multiracial democracy, and we will keep fighting for one until they take the
Inshallah,
microphones out of our
inshallah.
mouth.
And today, my mom reminded me is the 1 year anniversary of the Left Hook. I started a year ago, and I honestly thought if I could get 10,000 subscribers, I'd be happy. And as of yesterday, it's at 71,000. It's a one-man shop, but we're growing. So it's been a fantastic rise the last couple of months, which means people appreciate the conversations that we've been having, the truth tellers that we bring on, especially with Danielle and others. And everything's free. Like Danielle said, we are not idiots. We're just fools. We're terrible capitalists. But we have kept everything without a paywall because we believe democracy dies in darkness. So you need an informed citizenry to fight fascism. Pay what you can. If you can, $5 a month. We've kept it super cheap. Damn Digest, she finally jumped on the Substack ship. Give her your love. Subscribe. If you can't pay, at least subscribe and share the good news. And Danielle's YouTube channel, Danielle Moodie on YouTube, she almost has reached 25,000. She's like what, 100 away? 200?
I'm only like, I think 250 away
Go
from
subscribe,
25,000.
ring the bell, and then you'll know when she goes live with her 800 shows. But when me and Danielle we're gonna see what happens. There's gonna be a lot of news, folks, and we're gonna unpack it all tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time for our weekly Democracy-ish show, which is Monday and Friday. So we're gonna be back 12 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Until then, take care of yourselves, be kind, be empathetic, and please, oh please, don't be a fascist. Danielle's up in 43 minutes. Go check her out. And for those who jumped on a little late, this whole video will be up in about an hour with transcripts, so you can hear our entire conversation. And if you missed any of it, I hope you find it edifying and informative. And I hope, damn it, it's good to have righteous rage. This is a good fight, folks. This is a good fight. Fighting fascists is a good fight. You're in the right. Remember that. You're in the right. And inshallah, 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 if we play our cards right, it's going to be a long walk, but if we play our cards right, in some small way, we will be the heroes of our children's history books. So until then, until tomorrow, see you all. Thank you, Danielle, for jumping on last second.
Thank you, my
Take care,
friend.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.